Hey guys, here we're going to a video of TJ Dillashaw boxing Vasily Lomachenko. Now, I actually think TJ Dillashaw is one of the best fighters in all of mixed martial arts. I know that he's a cheater or whatever with the EPO and stuff, and like he's always looking for an edge. And to be honest, the best thing about any of that is listening to the people trash talk him about it. Like, oh yeah, oh yeah, TJ and his research. Like listening to Uriah Faber just bash him, and I hate Uriah Faber. Not really, but so much of that situation sounds crazy. But anyway, I do think TJ Dillashaw is a legit killer, and the reason he beat Cody Garbrandt is because Cody Garbrandt's a shitty fighter. The fact that he gets all this credit for beating Cruz, and I think Cruz is a way better fighter than Cody Garbrandt, but Cruz uses his footwork to try to get you out of place, right? His angles, right? And he's threatening with the shoulder feint, but boxing is like, that's where the shoulder feint comes from, and Cruz looks to be capitalizing off those motions and those feints, but he was not able to get Cody out of position, right? So when he would actually have to attack or make an attack, Cody was ready for it, right? Because he'd seen the shoulder feint timing, so he knew what Dom was trying to do. But anyway, TJ Dillashaw did a great job of feinting and probing and getting Cody out of position so that he could land a shot. To be honest, you guys, if you guys are interested in learning about fighting and stuff, and you want like a real example, you can see them talking about it in between fights. Fight one, when they're talking about it in between rounds and talking about the strategy and stuff, and listen to what they have to say. It's fantastic. It's really, really, really high stuff. So anyway, what we're going to be talking about is Lomachenko beating the crap out of TJ Dillashaw. So first off, when you're fighting somebody, guys, there's an ebb and flow to your feints and your probes, okay? So your weight is going forward, backward, right? Your weight doesn't just go one direction, okay? And that's one of the problems that a lot of people don't understand about boxing. Someone like Paulie Malignaggi doesn't understand this, that your weight needs to be able to go forward and backward, right? You have two legs, your body can go in two directions, right? And you're never on the line with your opponent for that long anyway, right? So let's take a look at Lomachenko getting on the line, right, with TJ Dillashaw. So he's coming forward, right, and he takes this step, and what does TJ Dillashaw say? I don't want to be on the line with him because he's going to punch me in the face. So he starts moving back, right? Notice this little pull here, right? How their weights and their heads stay in the same position, right? TJ Dillashaw doesn't want to change positions here, right? So he pulls back and he gets away, and he doesn't want to get on the line with Lomachenko because he knows that Lomachenko may have a superior position or may know something that he doesn't, right? He doesn't actually know, but what happens, Lomachenko probes him, right? Now this is a probe, you guys. This is a probe. He asks TJ Dillashaw to change positions, right? So pay attention to this, because TJ Dillashaw goes from the weight from the front foot to the back foot. Now his weight has only one place it can go, you guys. Only one. And it's only for this brief moment that Lomachenko has the opportunity to control TJ Dillashaw, because TJ Dillashaw is about to change positions. He's about to transfer his weight. So Lomachenko probes him and says, okay, you're in a position on the back foot that you're about to change positions. You're in a position where you're about to throw a punch or change positions. So I want to feint you, right? So he feints him. He gives him a probe, right? Boom, right? And TJ Dillashaw says, okay, he's going to attack me in this position. I have to move. So he tries to pull counter him, right? And because he's reacting to Lomachenko, Lomachenko's the one with the control, right? He went first. He says, hey, what do you think about this? And TJ Dillashaw said, oh, I think I'll give you a pull counter with a left uppercut or a right uppercut, right? And Lomachenko pull counters him, okay? So that's what winds up happening, okay? So we're going to watch Lomachenko's. Let's watch TJ Dillashaw's weight first, okay? And just think about it in weight transitions, okay? One, he's on the front foot, back foot, front foot, right? And how does he get through those positions? Right? Position 1, position 2, position 1, right? And now he has to bring his weight from the front foot to the back foot or move off the line, right? Think Will Farmer's step off the line, right? Threw that shot, and now you take a step to the left, right? You follow your weight. Very, very valuable tool if TJ Dillashaw could do that right now. But he can't. He gets walked into that left hand from Lomachenko. So let's watch Lomachenko's weight, okay? So he's going to go from the back foot to the front foot, and then he's going to shuffle forward, right? Control TJ Dillashaw, right? He shuffles forward onto TJ Dillashaw's line, right? So this position, if he feints him and TJ Dillashaw stays, then he's going to be in position to get hit with the straight left hand, right? We don't actually know what Lomachenko is setting up here. We don't actually know what attack Lomachenko is looking to put himself into position for, right? So TJ Dillashaw has to move. He has to respect the feint or the probe. Now, Oscar Peralta had a question about this idea, and it seems, I don't want to see I think a lot of people get caught up in the idea of the mysticism of boxing. And he used the example of what kind of power you must have, or what kind of, it's don't think about it like that. Don't let boxing mystify you, okay? All right? Let's break it down a little bit, and let's say, okay, from this position, what are you going to do, right? So Lomachenko says, I'm going to feint, okay? Why does he want to feint? Well, because he knows that when he gets to this position, whether he punches or not, TJ Dillashaw is going to make a move. So he wants to be able to influence that move, right? Maybe figure out what it's going to be, make it a move that he can counter, or, vice versa. But he wants to be in charge of when TJ Dillashaw makes that move, okay? If TJ Dillashaw gets to make that move whenever he wants, TJ Dillashaw is going to do this to Lomachenko. He's going to counter him, right? He's going to feint him and walk him into a shot, right? That's just the nature of the exercise, right? But Lomachenko's going first, so he's going to shoot this probe, get him to change positions, and then attack that new position, right? So, but that's the goal of the probe, right? He gets on the line, gives him a feint or a probe, and TJ Dillashaw has to move, right? If he doesn't move, then he's in line and he's in position to be hit by whatever it is that Lomachenko is actually setting up, right? Because the probe puts you in position to actually land your shot. So let's just talk really quickly, and then we're going to go through more of the video. Talk really quickly about what are all the things that can happen from this position, okay? Well, I'll tell you, either TJ Dillashaw moves or TJ Dillashaw doesn't move, okay? Those are the only two options when you feint your opponent, okay? That's it. Either they move or they don't move, okay? TJ Dillashaw moves. So what does Lomachenko have to do? He has to understand that whatever he does, he wants to be in a position to attack TJ Dillashaw's front foot, okay? So TJ Dillashaw is going to attack Lomachenko's front foot. So all he has to do is move his head out of that zone and then into that zone again to attack him, right? So he just has to move off the line, right? No matter what TJ Dillashaw does, right? And then move back into this zone. Now, again, there are only two outcomes here. Either TJ Dillashaw moves or he doesn't move. And if he doesn't move, he gets punched in the face here, right? It's not the idea that you're going to hurt your opponent with your feint or your probe or that you hit so hard. It's that, number one, in theory, you have good boxing technique, so you have power, you have speed, right? So let's just say that that's true, okay? If you're fighting or you're planning on being a fighter who says, I don't have the confidence in my speed or ability that I'm ever going to be able to feint or probe somebody, then you should quit right now, okay? I don't want to train you. I don't think you should be in my Patreon. I don't think you should be a fighter, okay? Your goal should be to get enough technique that you have speed and power. And here's the thing, you guys. You can all do it. As long as you practice those weight transition drills, you can get your weight into those shots. then all you're doing is looking to set up a weight transition, right? And that's why it's important to understand that feints and probes are so important, because you use them to manipulate not only your weight, but you use them to manipulate your opponent's weight so you can walk them into your power shots, right? And that's what you're doing essentially with your weight transitions, right? He uses his feint to make TJ Dillashaw change positions so that he would be in a position to move his weight into TJ Dillashaw's new position, right? So again, the idea here, TJ Dillashaw is either going to move or he's not going to move, okay? If he doesn't move, you just punch him in the face, right? Maybe the next time you feint him, you actually throw the punch. Or the next time you feint him, you give him a 1-2 instead, right? But if he does move, right, which is what you want to ask him to do, right? When he gets into that position to punch, you want to feint him, make him move, and then walk him into a shot. So anyway, we're going to keep going and see if we can see any interesting stuff. Let's talk a little bit more about the line too, right? So again, where's the line? Well, it's when he gets into a position, TJ Dillashaw recognizes, oh, he can attack me here, right? So what does TJ Dillashaw do? He says, okay, well, I want to land a right hook, right? So he's moving back here, right? And now he feints him, right? And that puts him into a position to throw this right hook and bring his weight back, right? But notice, pay attention, even though he's using this fancy kind of footwork, flashing, whatever, this is only in an effort to change position because he wants to get into a position to land this hook on the inside of Lomachenko, right? Because Lomachenko's open on that side, in theory, right? Just because TJ Dillashaw's normally attacking him from the other side, right? So he's probably thinking that's going to be effective. But it's important to notice that this is where Lomachenko gets on the line, right? And as soon as his foot gets to the ground, that's when Dillashaw is looking to attack him, right? Control him on the front foot, right? Again, Dillashaw's not a bad fighter, you guys. He's a really, really talented fighter. But he's not Lomachenko, right? So anyway, getting on the line with your opponent, there are two options, right? Ask him a question, right? So TJ Dillashaw feints him, right? So he blocks that feint, right? And then moves his head off the line into a punch, right? Now, it looks like he's kind of getting tagged here, but he's not getting hit with any power here. So I wouldn't worry about that idea either. But when he gets on the line, and we'll talk about this a little bit more again, right? The feints and the probes, right? Coming forward. Now, TJ Dillashaw's on the back foot, right? His weight is going to come forward. We know this, right? So what happens when he gets feinted on that back foot, onto that back foot? Lomachenko pulls back, right, and is able to feint him into this position, right? He knows that his weight is going to come forward, right, back, forward. So he's only controlling him again with this lead hand, boom, control, and then get him into this position to land a shot, right? But it's important, again, this position here, right? When he gets on the line, his weight goes forward, right? He feints him, and he knows that he's going to make an attack, right? He slips to the outside. Now, let's see. How do you say this idea? Again, you're only on the line with your opponent for a second, right? So most of the time when a fighter goes forward, if their opponent feints them or changes positions, they're going to go forward, and then they're going to move their weight backwards, right? But notice Lomachenko keeps moving his weight forward, right? Front, back, right? But when he takes that step back, right, boom, he actually takes it to the left, right? So he can continue closing the distance, right? Kind of like a shift, right? Boom, boom, right? Brings his weight all the way to the back leg, but he also brings his back leg forward, right? But see how his head is all the way on his left leg, and then he can come back into that position? But the important part is that he knows when he gets on the line with TJ Dillashaw, right? Boom. He needs to start controlling him, right? Because TJ Dillashaw is in position to punch, right? So, because he's in this position, right? Lomachenko says, okay, I get on the line with you. What do you think, right? But how long is he actually on the line with him before he starts asking him that question? Not very long, right? He's not even there yet. He's about to plant himself on that position, right? Make two punches sound like one. Boom, boom, right? So he shoots the feint, uses the slip to get off the line, and then he can come back into his own uppercut. But the idea, well, I'll play it again. There's more, there's much more of this idea here. But again, notice when they meet each other on the line, right? There's this actionary point from both fighters, right? Boom. And Lomachenko knows when it is that TJ Dillashaw is going to be attacking him too. Again, because of the shoulder feint timing, right? So again, TJ Dillashaw on the back foot, front foot, back foot, right? Then Lomachenko asks him to change positions once he gets to the back foot, right? Front foot, back foot. Lomachenko controls him, right? Now, I know this looks like a punch, right? But remember, he's not putting his weight into this, right? This is a punch, but this is a Wing Chun punch. The probe, feint, like jabbing style, right? So he's just asking TJ Dillashaw to change positions here. So TJ Dillashaw says, okay, I'm going to go from the back foot to the front foot through an uppercut, right? And then Lomachenko gets on the line with him, probe, and then slips to the outside to get away from it, right? Really, really good work from him. But the important idea is to know that when you get on the line with your opponent, your weight can either go forward, or it can go backwards, right? Backwards, right? Forwards or backwards. And then it goes forwards again, right? But it's important to understand that, right? And that's why it's important to have good technique, to make sure that you can go forward, right? Forward, as you see here. When you get on the line, slip to the outside or the inside. Well, it doesn't matter. Let's not call it that. But, you know, slipping on your front foot or slipping on your back foot, right? It's important to understand that. And that when you get on the line with your opponent, right? Boom, boom, right? Back foot. That's always going to be the same, right? That little avenue, right? Of wherever your opponent meets you on the line, there's going to be a little zone that they're able to attack. And that's the zone that you're slipping around. As you can see here, TJ Dillashaw demonstrating it, right? Boom. One side of that line, the other side of that line, right? Notice Lomachenko's head, when he's on this side, it's on one side of TJ Dillashaw's head. Now it's on the other side of TJ Dillashaw's head. And notice, look at all the trouble that TJ Dillashaw is having landing punches, right? I mean, he's kind of touching him with every other jab, right? No power, but I want you to think about this idea too. Look at this probe here, right? Or this jab here. There's no power in this shot, right? He's just tapping him, okay? This is very important because most people think when you explode out of your guard with your jab, it has to be really hard, okay? My amateur coach one time, I was asking, like, I was getting nervous for my, my first amateur fight. And my coach used to call me all the time. You know, to be honest, sometimes he was really nice. Sometimes he was really, like, I don't know, he would lose his patience with me a lot. Just because, like, I was really curious. So I don't know. Anyway, it was difficult. It was difficult to train like that. But I remember him telling me before my first amateur fight, don't throw no soft punches. Knock that guy out. Because I had a lot of power. I still have a lot of power. But it kind of changed the way that I learned to fight for a while. Because I was like, okay, I should not be throwing soft punches. So I didn't know how to set my punches up anymore. I don't know. It was confusing. It was really, really, really confusing. But it's important to know that the way that you set your punches up, right? Let's go back to this this zone right here. The way that you set your punches up, you guys. This zone right here. Remember? Oh wait, was it this next one? This one, right? So Lomachenko moving around TJ Dillashaw's jab here, right? So this is getting on the line with your opponent, right? So think about this idea. And it works right-handed and... actually, this is basically the same thing as right-handed right now, right? Or orthodox versus orthodox, southpaw versus southpaw. So Lomachenko, this is being on the front foot versus your opponent's jab, right? So from this position, when you get to the outside of the jab, you can come back, or the inside of the jab, you can come back with your own hook here, right? So Lomachenko would come back with the right hook. If you're an orthodox fighter, you'd come back with the left hook, right? And then see how he's on the back foot here? If you go and you pull counter a jab from this position, you're going to throw a straight left hand over the top of that jab. Or if you're an orthodox fighter, right, you're going to throw a right hand, right? But look at how these two positions, right, they're pivoting off of the different hips, right? One is on the front foot, right? Front foot, right? Now his weight goes to the back foot, right? But he's just changing positions. But notice TJ Dillashaw's position is exactly the same, right? This is the probably the best example that I could find of what it looks like when you're getting around your opponent's guard, right? Either on the front foot or the back foot, right? Very exaggerated, right? But he's very safe here, right? Because if TJ Dillashaw were to throw a straight right hand or a straight left hand in this case, Lomachenko would be able to cross that line, right, as TJ Dillashaw crosses that line and throw a straight left hand as well, or vice versa, right? If TJ Dillashaw were to throw a left hook from this position, right, oh, he just got it blocked here, right? And then Lomachenko, after blocking, right, get here, block. This is a perfect opportunity for Lomachenko to come back with a counter right hand, okay? So for all of you guys sparring and stuff right now, I would say for you guys to try to practice this move in the ring, okay? Practice getting to the front foot, catching that jab, and then coming back with the hook, okay? Just like it looks like Lomachenko could do here, but just practice getting here and blocking a shot, right? And then crossing your head back across the line like this so you don't get set up for a shot, right? Because you don't want your opponent to go tap, tap, right? And like knock you out because you get stuck on the front foot. So just pay attention to that idea. But again, right, this is a very, very, very important idea, because when you're on the front foot with your opponent, you need to be able to, or when you're in front of your opponent, you need to be able to get from one side of his jab to the other side of their jab, right? One side of their head to the other side of their head. And their goal when you're in front of them is to stop you from being able to do that, right? So that's what TJ Dillashaw does here. Jab, 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 control. He doesn't want Lomachenko to cross his line anymore, right? So he controls him and then throws that right hand, right? Lomachenko's a G, though, and he's able to see that coming. He knows that's coming and is able to roll it. But again, look at these punches, right? These are probes, right? He's not committing any of his weight. He's just asking TJ Dillashaw, hey, what do you think about this, right? Now notice, in this clip here, when he gets on the line with him, right, and he feints him, TJ Dillashaw moves position and then gets punched in the face, right? He attacks the new position, right? Boop, boop, and then attacks. But in this one, he's going to feint. He's going to catch him with the jab first, right? So TJ Dillashaw getting into position to punch, right? He wants to be on that front foot so he can come back with the hook. So Lomachenko catches him in transition, catches him with the shot, and then says, hey, what do you think about this? Hey, what do you think about this? And now TJ Dillashaw's not changing positions anymore. So he's getting feinted more, right? Boom. Feint, 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 right? Feints him, controls him like this because he's completely changed position. He's all the way on the front foot. So now TJ Dillashaw could be coming back with his own left hook here, right? So Lomachenko gets his head closer and closer, controlling him, right? Throwing a body shot. But look at how TJ Dillashaw, not changing positions, right, opens up other offense for Lomachenko, right? Now this hook to the body, it's not a huge punch, right? It's kind of that Wing Chun style, just tap him, right? I don't want to change positions, just land a punch, and you maintain being in position to defend yourself, right? Notice after he throws that shot, right? Tap, 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 right? Tap, tap. But when his opponent is, even though he is changing positions right here, right? But he's not punching, he's not really attacking, right? But he's not really, I guess he's not changing positions, that's how you kind of would say it. But he's not attacking Lomachenko, right? So when you use those feints in your probes, right, and your opponent doesn't change positions or doesn't make an opening, right? You have to find the opening. But the idea is that when your opponent's not changing positions, right, you just start punching them, right? That's what he does. He starts attacking him. And then when your opponent does change positions, you punch them. Right? So what's the theory, you guys? Well, whenever your opponent does anything in the ring, you want to punch them in the face for it. I guess that's what it is. But the idea is that you're feinting, you're probing, you get your opponent out of position to defend your next attack, right? Ooh. Again, shoulder feint timing, right? Back, front, right? And even though Lomachenko gets hit with that last shot, right? Still doing a great job. Again, getting on the line with your opponent, right? He's about to get on the line with him, feints him, right? He's about to get on the line with him, pulls back away from the attack that TJ Dillashaw is making so obvious, right? Because he keeps attacking him on that front foot, right? Controlling his weight. The only problem is TJ Dillashaw doesn't know how to control Lomachenko's weight without throwing a punch, right? And that's the problem that he's having with Lomachenko, is that Lomachenko can ask him to change positions without committing to an attack, and he can't do the same. Right? Now, as the fight goes on, oh goodness. Boom, feints him, changes positions around the possible counter, right? TJ Dillashaw doesn't even want to counter, though. He just looks to control him, and Lomachenko moves around it, right? And what happens? This is a feint, right? Ooh, hey, what do you think about this? Oh, he's out of position now and gets countered, right? So it's looking like TJ Dillashaw is not feeling comfortable controlling Lomachenko on the front foot anymore, and that means that he's going to be completely reactive now. Oh, he's looking to probe. Oh, does he land a good shot? Probe. Baits Lomachenko into attacking. Yeah, this is a great work right here. Probe. Control him on the front foot. Move to the back foot, right? And then come back with the counter, right? His weight. This is very important, you guys. Again, you're only on the line with your opponent for so long. So as he transfers his weight to the front foot, he controls him, moves to the back foot. Front foot, controls him, and then Lomachenko tries to time him on that front foot, and he's able to pull back and pull counter him right here. Really beautiful work right here. Great work from TJ Dillashaw here. Great manipulation of his weight, right? Front, back, front, right? Really good work. And this is how it works, right? You just need your opponent to bring their weight into you for just a split second while you pull counter, right? While you move out of that zone and then back into that zone. But anyway, that's about the end of this clip. Lomachenko's going to keep probing TJ Dillashaw and making him move positions and then attacking those new positions a few more times. But for the most part, again, right, getting on the line with your opponent, right? Where's that timing? Boop, boop, right? But understanding that you're going to shift your weight from one side to the other, right? Neutral position, attack comes. Non-neutral position. Start setting up attacks, right? Neutral position, non-neutral position, right? Neutral, neutral, neutral. Let's look at it one more, right? Neutral position, an attack comes, right? He feints him and then changes position, stabs to the body, right? He gets on the line, neutral, neutral, neutral. An attack comes. He gets off the line, neutral. An attack comes. He kind of gets caught there. You know what I'm saying? But again, neutral, right? These neutral positions, you use your feints and your probes and your Wing Chun quick style punches. And then when you change positions, you want to use your power shots, right? So we'll see him land a good power shot in a second, I think. Probe, right? Probe, don't want to change positions. Kind of tapping him up pretty good there, good control. I mean, he doesn't really look to land any hard shots. Well, this one's not bad, right? So again, right? Control, slip, position 2 to the back foot, to position 1 to the front foot, and all that power, right? And he's not hitting him that hard either. But the idea is that you're only using your power when you change positions, right? You use your feints and your probes. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below if it made any sense. But yeah, TJ Dillashaw just doesn't have, for the most part, control of Lomachenko throughout the course of this, right? He's reacting. He's trying to do the right thing in all those situations, but he doesn't realize, you know, doing the right thing against Lomachenko just means that you're doing exactly what he wants you to do.